TJ Jefferson, my social media grandmaster, Philadelphia 76ers diehard. You want to talk to him about his desire to get Damian Lillard on the Sixers and the possibility of that, please?
Yeah, TJ.
Yes, sir.
TJ.
What's up, RJ?
It ain't happening. Hey, what's up, my guy? It ain't happening, T. It ain't happening.
I'm resigned to that fact. I gave
Are
up
you?
that.
Are you really? Don't just fold. Don't just fold like that.
No. I think I said this a while back when Dame came out and said he didn't want to leave. I was like, look, man, I can offer you the riches. And if you decide not to take him, then what can I do? Like, I'm offering you the most physically gifted big man of his generation to play with. He doesn't want him. So what am I supposed to do?
No. But you got to understand. You got to understand this. Because he's under contract, I'm going to make an argument to say that the highest bidder might not. This is Dame Lillard in the prime of his career, under contract with the ability to sign a 2-year extension. Dame Lillard, I don't know if the highest offer would be what Philly could offer. I don't know if Ben Simmons and Maxey and so and maybe a couple of picks and this. I don't know if that would be the best offer. I know Ben Simmons, we can say what we want about him, but Ben, that might not be the best offer out there. Imagine if Boston decided to jump in. Imagine if some of these other teams that have some high-level players wanted to adjust. The Portland Trailblazers are going to do what's best for them, not say, hey, Dame, thank you for your service. We're going to send you to Philly, and whatever Philly will send back, we'll take.
See, I was hoping that's what was going to happen. In my mind, that's how this whole thing was going to go down. We'd be like, hey, we'll give you this. And they'll be like, okay, fine, take them. And just to make me happy.
Well, using that logic, think about how the value for Ben Simmons has changed. Right? Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Exactly.
So it's like they're asking for this, and this for multiple players. And it's like same thing happened a couple years ago with James Harden. There was talks about him in Philly. There was talks about him in Boston. And the only team that showed up and was willing to give X, Y, and Z was the Brooklyn Nets. And trust me, if you think that didn't, maybe Danny Ainge decided to go a different direction. If you don't think that Daryl Morey might have been a little frustrated at the fact that they could have gotten James Harden, the Brooklyn Nets were like, hey, if they don't want to come off of it, this will give you a better offer than all of them. And so people need to understand that just because there is a trade situation possible in Philly, that Portland will accept that as the best offer possible.
Well, I mean, Boston, you mentioned Boston. Well, you're just saying not Tatum, but Tatum would say, here's my number 0 or something like that. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not getting into this. I'm merely stating that,
yes.
There was some discussions about James Harden in Boston. There was some discussion about James Harden in Philly. Heavy discussions, whether it was Jaylen Brown, whether it was, sending Ben Simmons in, and there was conversations,
yep.
And they all fell flat because they felt like the asking price was too high. And then all of a sudden, that asking price is looking a lot better right now. Now, I know James Harden hasn't had a great season, but you would just think that, if you had a healthy James Harden and you had, a Jason Tatum or had James Harden with Ben Simmons or with Joel Embiid, you would have a monster. But just because the house is for sale doesn't mean that you always often have the right buyers.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.